Good afternoon from wherever you may be watching us from. It's the Score Extra sports program that happens on Uganda Broadcasting Corporation TV every Saturday. It's been a while since we came because of the Africa Cup of Nations. We gave ourselves a break and allowed us to breathe in and out only Africa Cup of Nations football. But we are now back up and running. Credit to the guys that enable us come down here and work. The lads that are behind the cameras, the Eddie Moises of this world, the Jamils of this world, gladly putting on a mask. Nasa Mokasa, I will not tell you whether he is or not, but my colleague here looks elegant.
Yes, thank you.
How are you?
I'm doing very fine, and being a weekend, you know what it means sporting action.
Okay.
Right from the Qatar Open, then the English Premier League, Uganda Premier League, and a couple of leagues that will be taking place over the weekend. So it is going to just be mouth-watering a weekend for me.
Yeah, Ugandans now, women's football is up and running. Am I there? 2 games on today in the FUFA Women Super League.
Yeah.
FWSL, FUFA Women Super League is on, and there's a game down at Uganda Christian University Mokono where the hosts UCU, current table leaders on 6 points, are playing Lady Doves, champions from last time out, but have only picked 1 point. Both teams have the country's lead strikers, either in the past or present, or whichever way you look at it. Fazila Ikwaput for the Lady Doves, and then Hasfana Suna, who is just 6 goals off her mark of 100. Women's football in Uganda.
Yeah, women's football in Uganda is developing at a very terrific speed because when you look at the FIFA Women's Super League, someone might think it is just a joke. Yeah. But this is the top league in women's football in Uganda. And that's why we always have to talk about ladies like Fazila Ikwaput, one of the top strikers that have always put up great performances. I remember when Lady Doves traveled for the Sekafa Championship down in Kenya, she put up a stunning performance to make sure she sends her team into the later stages of the championship. That is why we saw a couple of goals from her, a free kick that was so brilliant up against Vihiga Queens. However, they lost out there, but I remember she put up a great performance. So today, as they take on their opponent, that is UCU, we always know that UCU is so good when it comes to basketball, then netball. So this time around, we are going to see a UCU side that has a lot to prove since they are still having a couple of points collected so far.
Yeah, that's 6. They're unbeaten. They're on 6 points, just like a Chic Corporate that is playing arenas down at the Chabagu Stadium where Wakiso Giants do their play their trade in the Uganda Premier League. But tell you what, it's a very organized league. Now you need to share with someone, a colleague, for people to believe that is the lineup that has been released, and it's the women's football in Uganda. Those are the levels, those are the heights that these guys are attaining. We no longer have to struggle. Remember when we were watching some football on TV, so the Uganda Cup down from just Lugogo here, and you need a lineup for Kisugu. You can't get it, but those are the girls in Ugandan football now. Look at what they're doing.
Looking at the UCU Lady Cardinals lineup, we have Hadija Nalongo in goal, Hasfana Suna.
He's captain.
Yes, a lady that I've seen play for the Crested Cranes so far. Then taking a look at Sina Rather, then Shadia Nancha, Joan Kwagala, Sandra Chisache, shot 7 will be out there to prove a point. Jaura Nabagala, then Bridget Nabisaru, Teddy Najuma, Harriet Mugumia. Harriet Mugumia will also be in there. Shot number 23. Then Mercy Nabulobi will also be starting for the UCU Lady Cardinals. Then for the Lady Doves, we are taking a look at Rose Bamaniriza in goal. Then Ritisha Nabosa. This one I've also seen play for the national team. Then Akirol Irene Fazila Ikwaput, shot number 10, will be the lady that will have to prove a point up against the Lady Cardinals of UCU. Then Lydia Nyandera, not forgetting Joelia Nagadia, then Sarah Nakuya will also be out there. Vicky Ajwang will also be playing for the Lady Doves. Then Margaret Namande and Fiona Lucy Atono, shot number 20, will also be starting.
This is a great credit to women's football in Uganda, because you get the lineups and everything is clearly put out for you. Even the coach for UCU is Godfrey Magoba, but the head coach for the Lady Doves is Roger Mugweri.
But now I wonder why a club in the round of 64 cannot have an active handle. You might not have this information being dished out on different platforms, but you can put this information on your Twitter handle or Facebook handle, and we can pick it there and then promote your team. But some people out there will always say our teams are not given time, our teams are never put onto the TVs, but because your team is never having an active handle. So that is why we remember having a team like Chisugu. Chisugu had very many fans at the round of 64, but very disorganized, because I even remember a goalkeeper switching boots with another player on the pitch. Yeah, which really means a lot when it comes to the issue of football development in Uganda.
And by the way, that is not only that. I think we need to really, whoever is behind this, either the federation or at the secretariat that mans women's football in Uganda, because even the roster for Rennes against Chi Corporate is out and clearly put.
Rennes is living dangerously of recent, and when I look at all the players here, I look at Ananita Nantume, who was so pivotal in their qualification from the Elite League to the FUFA Women Super League. Then, but today we shall be seeing Susan Uwekoye Neumbe starting in goal, then Shakira Nalule, Haiti Kauda starting there, shot number 3, then Anita Nantume, shot 6, Catherine Wujia, Evelyn Nagai, Diana Nantongo, Maureen Nanchinga, Joanita Ainembabazi, then Harima Nanteza and Amina Nababi will all be starting in this one, which means a lot for the unbeaten.
They beat up on Kawempe last weekend. I went down there and watched that game at the Makerere University Business School. Great goals from Grace Nasong and Favor Nambatia. Great goals that gave them 6 points. They and UCU are unbeaten in this league, but what have they put out for us?
Yes, they have Daffy Nyaenga in goal.
That is a name we've heard 1,000
times.
Yes,
she was at the under 17, then playing at the under 20.
She's someone for the senior team at times.
And I really predict she might be part of the team that will travel for the AFCON.
AFCON,
yeah, for the ladies AFCON. I wonder why it is AFCON.
It's supposed to be AFCON, really.
Anyway, she will be starting in goal, then Neume Nagadia, then Margaret Namirimu, Winnie Nabale, shot 5 will be starting. Fiona Nabumba, Grace Mary Nasong, Rona Nantege, then Swabula Nkomba will be playing in there. Shot number 12, then Favor Nambatia.
That is, Favor.
Previous goal scorer.
Yeah, she's got a great goal, very good goal.
She will be in there. Shot number 14, Anita Arinda and Mariam Ibunyu will also be starting. Shot number 30 will be starting in this one. So this is a very big credit for the ladies out there that have always decided to play football, because very many ladies think football is for the men only, or football is for those that have the energies, but it is for all people that have passion. If at all you have passion, you can play the good game. We've seen girls travel for bigger business. I remember recent
Fauziana Jemba went to Kazakhstan for a team called Big Something, and she's done there. She was unveiled this week, and she will start playing her football.
She was already having good time there.
Even in Uganda.
I saw a tweet on her handle when she was already with teammates and smiling all over, which really meant that she was ready for her new big role. Then the young girl in
Juliet Nalukenge and several others by the Sandra Nabetemes of this world, all over the world, playing their football and earning big, and not to the struggles that maybe they would have been going through in case they didn't choose to play sport.
And I believe they are the ones that are giving these others that
motivation,
kind of, motivation and belief that they can really be there within a very short period of time. For as long as you keep training, then you offer some great football, you'll be signed by any club. I remember a Ugandan playing for Crystal Palace ladies, Jean Seninde. Yes, and currently she's working with the FIFA body, which means a lot for Uganda women's football and the Ugandan FUFA, because if at all you have a representative like Jean, you're just good to go.
And importantly, if you start earning money in Uganda in dollars, then you're sure to become rich. Are you aware?
100%.
Anyways, if you thought that what we've talked about in terms of women football in Uganda is very impressive, then what I want to tell you next is going to impress you better, because tell you what, the federation is now employing only women referees into the game, and they already assigned. Look at the referees assignment for this weekend's games of football. You can even read them, and you realize there are 5 games over the weekend, because it's a 10 team league. There are 5 games over the weekend, and 15 officials have been assigned. That is employment for 15 women in Uganda. That is one of the most important things we shall ever find. There are referees appointments?
Yes.
Starting with those of today's games.
This is match day 3, whereby we are going to be having the UCU taking on Lady Doves in Mukono, whereby they've already assigned 5 ladies for this one.
It's already underway, by the way. It started at 3.
Yes.
We shall get the updates.
Akoi Anna is already going to be part of this. Then Tuwe Eunice, not forgetting Nakumiza Rehma, Haula Namukobe, and Semambo Aisha will be taking charge of that one. UCU up against the Lady Doves. Then Rines SS up against She Corporate at the Kabaka Chabagu Stadium will be taken charge by, that is Athaide Joyce, then Nayebale Babra, Nabisere Tasha, then Lunkuse Feibe, not forgetting Nakabuye Rehema. This is Mama Yanga.
She's been there a while.
Yes, this is Mama Yanga. She's been refereeing for ages. Probably the last 10 or more years.
No, she longer than that.
No, but
I last played active football about 17 years ago.
Yeah.
She was a referee.
Okay.
Her experience in refereeing may be as old as you.
And I've seen her taking charge down in Entebbe because she has been a referee along Entebbe Road for a very long period of time.
District.
Yes, and I first of all saw her back in 28 when we were still living within the Bunamaya Soccer Academy before it was turned to Vipers.
There was a time she was officiating a game we were playing at. There's a lot of us called Madika Kili. We were playing for Kumba Boys then. So Madi is the same clan as Mama Yanga, Rugave.
Okay.
So Madi, Kabuye and Nakabuye. So Madi simulates and wants to cheat the referee over that he's been fouled for a penalty. Now Mama Yanga comes to Madi and tells him, Madi, you watch Kachange.
I also remember Mama Yanga officiating a game down at Rufuka. You know there is a stadium in Zana, which raised the likes of Hamza Mwonge.
Bunamwaya.
Yes, the entire
Vipers.
Bunamwaya.
The current Vipers.
Yes.
Is fathered and mothered. Kataka. Rufuka.
From Rufuka, where some people call Kunya.
Kunya.
Yes. I remember she was officiating a game there, and it was between Standard High School and Bakare High School.
Derby.
It was a Rufuka Derby, whereby she was supposed to sprint away because the fans thought she wasn't doing the necessary charging. Okay. So that is why she had to sprint off the pitch. But she's going to be part of the
at the Chabagu Stadium. That game is underway. We shall be giving you updates once they come in. If we don't get you the updates live on this program, there's Score Extra, then we shall be giving you tidbits during various news bulletins that will be coming up later.
Then tomorrow, Kawempe Muslim up against Toro Queens are the ladies that have been chosen to take charge. Nachibombo Tina, Namazi Mariam, Nachito Oliver, Nabukenya Shamira, and Chizito Rahman. Not forgetting the game that will be played up against Uganda Matters and Olida High School. I have to give credit to Olida High School because they are one of the foundations for women's football in Uganda. Yes. And some of the ladies will be Chiza Aisha, Murunji Susan, Nyangoma Hawa, Natasha Angela, and Rosemary Ramuyamba.
Ramuyamba, she's been there.
Yeah, she's been there for a very long period of time. And
she holds high positions in the federation in terms of women's football. And
she was running for LC3 position somewhere in Najana Nkumbi. However, she didn't pick up the result she wanted. Then in the other fixture, she Maroons up against Kampala Queens. A lady in Ayaro Florence, then Asayo Elizabeth, Nantongo Recho, Umimana Grace, and Natabi Harriet will also be out there to make sure this game is really officiated very well. But I love the fact that Bans, you're keeping close with the federation. However, this is a historical federation that you are keeping close with.
Yeah, because tell you what, we need to emphasize this in the world. If you want, if you want our GDP to improve, if the GDP is to improve, everyone has got to be employed. Now, this may not be big monies that these women are getting after officiating these games, but the mere fact that they go out there and work.
And the passion they have,
for sport, for what they are doing, is very important.
Because even in the Premier League that most Ugandans follow, we've always seen there are some ladies officiating some of these games. Whenever a lady is not a center referee, you might find her as
assistant referee,
one or two. So I really think this is a very big development for Ugandan football, and I've also seen ladies in the Uganda Premier League. So it's a big credit to the Referees Association down at FUFA.
Yeah, for the for that, we tell Ugandans that if you are anywhere close to Uganda Christian University, please go down there. There's a women's game happening down there, and that stadium or ground at UCU is a good one. Have you been there?
Yes,
it's a good one to play football.
Most universities have
all green.
Have great facilities because even the J University has a great one, and the same applies to
Chambogos of this world.
Yes,
all of them do have great facilities. So if you are in Wakiso near the Chabago Stadium where Wakiso Giants plays their Uganda Premier League football, please cross over and watch women's football. Renez is playing Shikopret. Shikopret is the team that tops the league alongside Uganda Christian University. 6 points they have ushered into their docket this season. 2 games played. Of course, it's the 3rd match day in the Uganda Premier League. Tomorrow, if you're close to Kawempe, close to Rubaga, or anywhere near the prisons in Luzira, if they do accept case to go down there, you can tell them I'm going to watch a game of football, women's football, and we need to keep down there and watch the girls play.
Women's football is not very expensive like that of the men, because the men have those tickets that go for 20,000 or 50, most especially when 2 big clubs meet and have to lock horns. But I think in the ladies' football, it is not very expensive. It's
even free because last weekend, like I told you, I went down to Makerere University Business School, and it was free entrance. And I was lucky and happy that I saw Ugandans out there coming to appreciate women's football. Of course, Kawempe is star-studded. Most of these young girls, Shakira Njigahirwas, Samali Nakachwas, Hadija Nanda, goes of this world, are all Asia Nabo Kenya, all playing. That is the game there. They're all playing for Kawempe, and guys would love to see these girls do their thing before we enter engagements. Remember, the under-17 girls are in camp preparing for World Cup qualifier. Then we have the women that you've talked about. They're going for AUCON. That is very, very important. And credit to the people at the federation that ensure this women's football is not lip service like it was in the past.
Yes.
Most of the past was about lip service. And tell you what, a Federation of International Football Associations will give you all the money you need for youth football and women football.
Women football development is something FIFA is really looking out for, and secondly, when you look at youth football, they want to engage all the youth, whether educated or not educated. They want to make sure they unite all the youth and bring them together, because sport is one thing that never leaves anybody out. We've always seen even the lame trying to play football. There is that football for the lame that is being played in some countries. However, in Uganda, para football.
Para everything is there.
Yes, but I haven't seen it in Uganda. I wonder why Mr. Engineer Magogo does not introduce football for the blind, because I've seen it being played in England, in Kazakhstan, Liechtenstein. People are playing football for the blind, so it should be introduced in Uganda too.
Yeah, I think it should be. But anyways, let's leave women's football and talk Uganda Premier League action. There was a game yesterday down at the Bombo Military Grounds in Luwero District, Bombo, like I've told you, and the home team, UPDF, failed Vipers SC from maximum points. That meant that they can no longer go 6 points ahead of KCCA. That easy in action. Today, you followed that game, and the producer has done you a good service. Do you question him?
No, I don't question him.
Did you doubt the producer?
I don't doubt him. But in this fixture here, I really love the free kick from the young lad in Paul Muchwerezi, scoring a great free kick there to make sure that Vipers at least walks away with the point. But looking at the tactics that were used by the coach in Senyondo for the UPDF side, you get to realize that he knows when you're playing up against a Vipers side that is leading the log, you must be very defensive, and that is exactly what he did. When you look at the Sentamus of this world and Cesar Manzokis, I've always talked about this combination, but he managed to make sure that it defends it very well. And I remember it was UPDF that took the lead, and Vipers had to equalize a little bit later when it came to the issue of scooping a point out of this one. So it was one of the games that really made my day, and it continues to put Vipers into a very difficult situation when it comes to the issue of scooping the title of the Uganda Premier League this season.
Okay, and the football continues today. There's a big game happening down at the Philip Omwani Stadium. It's KCC against Onduparaka. There's a lot of bad blood flowing between these teams because of a reason I want you to give to Ugandans. Remember that aborted game at the Greenlight Stadium?
Yeah, I want to let Ugandans know that these two teams are going to be meeting for the third time this year. But first of all, look at the fans that were out there watching that one.
Fan days.
Yes, they are fan days. But we also need to see some fan days coming onto the pitch. But looking at the game of Ondu Paraka and KCC, this is going to be the third time.
By the way, as I first told you, still they're reporting Sports Club Villa. We told you Sports Club Villa is traveling down to play a game of football in the Uganda Cup. They're round of 64, and they are reporting an accident involving the team bus somewhere in Mijera. And they say there are no fatalities, but a couple of guys are seriously injured. SC Villa was meant to play Super Eagles tomorrow in a round of 64 Uganda Cup clash to confirm who will play Express in the Sunday game, Sunday next week, on Uganda Broadcasting Corporation, the round of 32. But we are getting information that the Villa bus traveling to Gulu for this particular game against Super Eagles in the Stanbic Uganda Cup round of 64. They have got an accident, and a couple of lads have been injured. Let's hope that none so serious that to cost them a career or even days off, because most of the times Ugandan footballers earn what they live for on a daily basis. Continue with the football. Yes,
as we were still talking about the issue of KCC and Ondu Paraka, we remember that the first leg game that they were supposed to be playing had to end in tear gas and rubber bullets because of the fans invading the pitch. And I really wonder why FIFA called for the replay of this one. But however, even when the replay was playing, we saw both teams getting a single point out of that one. So it is going to be no different when KCC host.
But I think this is a serious. This is not. It wasn't a mere simple accident.
Yes, for the Villa side. All right.
A couple of guys that are
and I'm looking at the coach and some of the players. Oh, this was really
fatal. A simple accident.
Yes,
not fatal but danger, but serious.
But
there were no deaths reported.
Okay, because we haven't yet known. We haven't yet known what is really transpiring there.
It doesn't look nice.
But the mere fact that the bus is already has already fallen onto the ground, you get to realize it wasn't a joke of
some blood from one of the people that was on the bus.
Yes,
near the knee.
Oh no, this is something very bad.
Yeah, we do feel sorry for anyone involved, because all of us actually are. Because if for us that live and breathe a sport is our second or first even, and first loves.
And for Villa, some of us were raised and brought into the system by SC Villa.
Sports Club Villa, we pray that there is no serious injuries to anyone in this Villa bus, but the site doesn't look nice. The players are really seem to be in pain. Those few that we are seeing here are courtesy of a couple of guys that are helping us out on the Federation of Uganda Football Association's journalists WhatsApp page. Okay, you're talking Ondu Paraka and KCCA. That game is about to get underway. It's a big game in context of KCCA, because Vipers failing to win yesterday means that they are 4 points off Vipers, and if they win this game 3 points, they will be just 1 point off, and there the league is very much alive.
Yes, and the pressure will be on to the Vipers that are leading the log, because Vipers failing to win up against UPDF meant a lot for the KCCA side. However, by the way, Barnes, before we also go into today's fixture, there was a game played yesterday between Express and Busoga.
You need to talk Express and Busoga.
And, I was so worried when I saw Express losing, even after the exit of Waswa Bossa. So I thought the problems are not yet coming to an end there, and it is worrying.
The exit of a coach is just maybe the start of a transition to the next level. Most of the times, Bossa left last week and they're playing a game almost 3-4 days, just 3-4 days later. There's no way you can think the troubles at that club have settled down. And the clubs at that club are more than even what Waswa Bossa could even afford to handle. And even maybe when with Waswa Bossa, because Waswa Bossa is a clear man manager, you and I know, and the thousands of Ugandans out there watching know, the Waswa Bossa is that kind of coach who will talk to his player. Most of these guys are his players.
Yes.
Are his players.
He signed them by himself.
And during times of trouble at the club, I'm told he went and picked up off his savings and gave a couple of these players to train day before match day. So I think there is a lot that needs to be worked upon at Express FC for them to live again the way we would love to see the Wankulukuku boys actually dominate Ugandan football. But allow me, let's go for a break.
First of all, before we go for the break,
okay,
I just want to let people know that whenever you're playing up against any relegation battler, you have to
be at your best.
Play hearts out, because what cost Vipers yesterday was because they were playing up against a team that wants to survive. The same applied to Express FC. And it might happen to KCCA.
Let's go for the break. When we get back, we shall talk local football, local sport, and then we shall cross over and tell you whatever is happening down in especially Europe, where the leagues are on. Juventus failed to win that Turin derby against Torino last night. Great goals by both teams.